guys, welcome to What I Ate Wednesday. I have a breakfast smoothie. I haven't had a smoothie in so long. I used to take it when I went to work, but now we're not really allowed beverage containers on the counter, even though it's like behind the desk, but still. So that's why I don't anymore. And even our coffee, like I usually take my coffee tumbler, it has to go underneath the desk, and then I just don't reach for as much. So anyways, that's why I don't take smoothies as often. However, it's obviously not a work day at the vet today. And then honestly, I just forgot about having smoothies. But we still have a lot of chopped up pineapple, frozen pineapple, in the freezer, like a huge bag of it. So I was like, oh, it might just taking up a lot of freezer space. So I'm like, I might as well use some up. So I made one of the smoothies that I used to love, and this was, yeah, it always kind of made me energized for the day. There had a banana and then about maybe 5 or 6 pieces of frozen pineapple, and then I put in some ginger and some protein powder, and then I brewed or steeped some mango acai passion fruit green tea, which is actually, when it comes to green tea, you guys know I don't like green tea, that one is actually really good. So I put that in as well as just some soy milk, just to make it a little creamy. And then just blended it all together, and it's really good. It's not as frozen. I should have brewed the tea yesterday, or at least earlier, so it would have had time to cool. So as soon as the tea hit the frozen pineapple, it already made it soft, but that's okay. So it's a little more liquid than your typical smoothie. It's more just like a drink, but it's so good. I really like this. So I'll probably go back to having this again, and it just takes seconds to make. So, For lunch, I am going to be making an egg wrap, kind of like scrambled eggs. So the veggies I'm putting in are ones that I have on hand. We have some white onions, some brown mushrooms, and then I have some red cabbage that I was using. I made the German kind of red cabbage with some, with some apples and a whole bunch of spices and stuff. I didn't really like it. So now I'm using the rest for other stuff. Although Dan really liked it, and it was healthy, so we may make it again. But anyways, just going to saute these all up together. Then I scrambled some eggs, and I'm going to put it on my wrap. That's the veggie mixture, and then I just had some cucumbers that I sliced up to have some crunch and some freshness. And then going to put the eggs into the wrap, and then going to wrap it up. Now I'm going to eat it, and in the eggs I put a little bit of taco seasoning and smoked paprika, so that gave a nice good flavor. I am ready for work now, and the tea I am taking is coffee cake from David's Tea. I ended up with my advent calendar labeling them, because otherwise I had no clue what they are. Even on the other side, they're blank. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. You can kind of see, yeah, I just wrote them in. I did have them color coordinated at first, but then there were just so many, well, all the green teas are in green Sharpie, and then the black teas are in black, and then everything else I'm like, what color would oolong tea and rooibos I wanted to make red, but then we had fruit infusion, anyway, so. But at least I know the green ones and the ones to avoid. Anyways, off to teaching now. I'm back from work now, and a little bit early, so we are going to be making my take on tofu corn dogs. So I was going to, well, I felt like corn dogs, and so I was going to just get like veggie hot dogs and then coat them in the cornmeal mixture, but I was like, well, that's not, like, that's pretty junk food on its own. Anyway, so I'm like, no, I'm gonna make them from tofu. The actual tofu slices, and then cook them and coat them in the cornmeal. So, that's what I'm doing. Now, the recipe that I found for, like, tofu dogs, they suggest using, like, a smoker or having liquid smoke, which I didn't have. So instead, I bought the smoked tofu, which seemed fitting. So I have already cut those into little strips. Yeah, so they're gonna be square or like, you know, rectangular corn dogs, but that's okay. And then now I'm going to make a marinade that I'm going to just let them soak in for a little bit while I get everything else ready. So these are the things that I'm gonna be putting in. Mostly it is going to be soy sauce with some maple syrup, apple cider vinegar, and then I do have smoked paprika, so that's going to be some flavor, some garlic salt, and then I'm going to also get a garlic as well, and then some salt and pepper too. I mixed everything together, and honestly I've tasted this and it tastes disgusting. But hopefully by marinating the tofu in it, the tofu will taste good. I don't know. So just going to, I think actually I'm going to put the lid on this and then shake it. It's all sealed up, so just kind of rotating it. I only did the half recipe on the marinade because this is a smaller tofu than a normal tofu. And I just didn't want to waste it. Plus, the marinade says it's supposed to sit for about an hour, and I'm going to do it for like 10 minutes because I want to get on with this and eat. So we're just going to, every so often, rotate it around. Yeah, we've let it sit for long enough. So I have preheated the oven to 400 Fahrenheit, and now I'm just going to lay these on some parchment paper. And then I will spin them a little later on, as well as pour some more of the liquid over top as needed. We are still going to coat this and then bake them again, but this is just trying to make somewhat of a veggie dog. So I'm going to maybe do it for like 20 minutes, but I'll check on it throughout. So now we're going to be making the corn dog dough. This is a recipe for baked corn dogs, because that was a big thing. I was like, I'm not going to deep fry it. In our bowl, we're going to be mixing, and I'm just halving the recipe again. I think they said it does like 8 full-size hot dogs or something, which I'm not doing. So then half a cup of cornmeal, which I'm measuring out here, and half a cup of whole wheat flour, with half a teaspoon of baking powder, and then about quarter of a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to eyeball that in. And then just 1/8 of a teaspoon of this little mustard, dried mustard. So this is such an old container. Let's just do. Just whisking that all together. Actually, I should put a light on. There we go. Just mixing that all. Then I have 3 tablespoons of butter, which does seem like a lot of butter. And then, so I'm just using forks to kind of mash it up together. Now I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of honey, and then 1/4 cup of milk. And then I'm just going to use my hands to mix it all together. It's all nice and stuck together. We are going to roll it out. That's the dough now, but in the meantime, I'm just take these out. I'm going to tend to them a little bit, turning them other side down. Maybe next time I'll just do it using already the pre-made hot dogs, but we'll see. And then just pouring a little bit of the remaining marinade over top, and then I'm going to put them back in the oven for another like 10 minutes or so. I've sprinkled some parchment paper with some flour, and then now I'm going to roll it out. I'm putting a little bit more on top. I'm surprised that the dough doesn't have any eggs or anything in it, but it does not. So just covering it as well, and then we're going to roll it until it's about 1/4 or half inch in thickness. So that's, I have these markers on my rolling pin. Interesting. So I have these little shish kebab skewers that I've cut in half. So we're gonna put our corn dog tofu piece on there, and then maybe I'll go like this way instead. We're just gonna cut it and wrap it around, and then it is still like a soft enough dough that you can kind of it's pliable, so you can move it around, but it can't be too soft because of course we're gonna bake it. We're not like deep frying it as the real ones are, but yeah. Close it on the end. Pretty cool. So I'm gonna add it to the next one, and just on a piece of parchment paper. I got 7 of them covered, so this last one we'll just have to eat. But you can tell these were my first 2, and they're a lot thicker than the rest of them. So I think I used a little bit too much dough, but now it's too soft, so I can't change it. So we're gonna put it in the oven again at 400 Fahrenheit, and we're gonna bake them for about 15 minutes, and hopefully they're gonna be all nice golden brown and look like the same as if we fried them, but we're not. Still has about 5 minutes left, and it didn't say to rotate them, but if you look at the bottoms, let me try to finish. Yeah, the bottoms are nice and brown, whereas the rest is not. So I'm going to be rotating them. It's hot. There we go. And I'm also making some green beans because we need some sort of veggies in our dinner. I've sauteed a little bit of red onions with some pickled garlic, and then now adding the boiled green beans that have been drained, and then a little bit of red pepper flakes as well, and then just tossing that in. And I'll just let this cook, warm up and stuff, cook for like 2 minutes or so, just to coat everything. So here they are. I'm excited to cut into them and see. But yeah. Ooh. Then we're gonna add some mustard as well on the plates. That's what it looks like. I don't know if I'm gonna be having all of these, but yeah, I cut it in half, and obviously it's not like pink colored like meat, but you can clearly see the tofu and the breading. So now I get to taste it. I have a little piece that I cut off. Mmm. It tastes really good. The cornmeal part, it's a little bit dry and flaky, obviously because I didn't deep fry it or anything, I just baked it. But it actually, I'm super impressed. It works. Oh, it looks so cool. And then let's try the beans. That tastes pretty good. Not amazing, but I'm so impressed with corn dogs. What do you think of them, honey? Oh, not quite as enthusiastic as I am. But I am very impressed. It's not something I would make on a regular basis just because it's still not healthy. But it was so much fun to try, and I actually am happy that I used the tofu. I don't think I necessarily needed to use like the veggie dogs. And veggie dogs, some are quite good. Like I like the spicy ones from Eve's, but a lot of them, they don't really have much taste anyway. So I'm very happy with this. Anyways, going to eat this now and then start getting ready for dance class. I'm back from dance class now and just relaxing, watching some TV. So Dan and I are having a little drink. We're having some of the vanilla cinnamon Baileys. So Dan's having his straight up with ice. I have mine with mostly milk, of my soy milk, and just a little bit of it, but it still gives it, you still taste it a little bit. Anyways, that's it tonight. Thanks for watching, and I'm so excited that my corn dogs actually turned out. Yay. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.